Happy New Year. Happy 2023. 2023. Man,
Yes,
that sounds like the title of a science fiction movie. What the man? I am old. I am old. It's the year it is, and it sounds like the future to me.
Yeah, this is the kind of year that people always used to put the year.
Yeah.
Before when they used to.
Oh man,
add that as a prefix.
All right. Well, happy 2023, everyone.
Oh, okay.
The Rees Company.
By the way, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the algorithm.
All right. People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here. Too many 40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry. It's going to change. Be nice.
That ain't working.
I want you to be nice.
That ain't working.
And you'll both be nice.
So much as my wife was a giant. But
I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the way you do it.
The Rees Company.
Crack open a tepid Genesee and watch the pictures as they travel through your neighbor's Wi-Fi. It's the Rees Company. I'm Steve Rees, the bull of American broadcasting, alongside the great Chris Morganti. And we have so much to get to this week. We're going to be checking in with Pittsburgh's Forgotten Son. We have another installment of Funny or Hate Crime. We have an update from war-torn Ukraine. And our movie of the week is actually a pilot for a failed sitcom. But first, Chris, how are you?
I'm good. It's New Year's Eve as we record this.
All right, we did it.
Yeah. So I brought some champagne for us to enjoy.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Last time we did this, we were celebrating a milestone in our number of subscribers.
Was it 50, I believe?
Yeah. Well, we have no such milestone to celebrate.
No.
No.
All right. Nice job.
So, Steve, last night I was out with a group of my high school buddies. Now, it's like the three of us are like...
Don't go crazy here. That's fine. That's fine.
The four of us are we're like best friends in high school, you know? Cheers. Mm-hmm. And but we drifted apart. I hadn't seen these guys in years, so I was excited to see them. So we go to a Japanese restaurant, and my friend Mike, who's a big fan of the show, by the way.
Oh, cool. We appreciate that. Thank you, Mike.
And Mike's not like a great big Ralph Williams type of person, but he's a heavier guy. I'm gonna say I'll ballpark it 250, right?
Okay.
So we go in, and the lady's like, "You want a booth?" And he goes, "No, I'm too big for a booth." So we get a table in the middle of the restaurant, and he sits down, and 2 minutes later, his chair just collapses.
Oh man!
And I mean, all four legs splayed out so that he dropped straight down. I mean, Chris Farley couldn't have done it better,
man.
But then, when he gets up, he goes, "Well, I guess I'll be hearing about that on the podcast." Now, I wasn't going to talk about that. I wouldn't have talked about that.
Sure.
But now I feel like he'd be disappointed if I didn't. So now we're talking about it.
Right.
And after it happened, I'm looking at my own chair, and this thing's wobbling back. I'm over 200 pounds myself. I can snap the legs right off of this thing, and then there'd be two of us falling. Wouldn't that be funnier? You know? So this is what I'm thinking about. And then my friend Randy across the table, he's even bigger than Mike. So I'm like, if he's got a chair like this, it's only a matter of time before he's on the floor. And how funny would it be if, somebody went to a restaurant, hey, remember that time we went to a restaurant and those three fat guys came in and they all ended up on the floor? But in the end, Randy's chair didn't break, and I just sat on mine. And I've been thinking about it ever since if I should have done it. But, I would have had to lean back, he fell flat. I would have had to lean back. I might have landed on my tailbone. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to risk injury. Now, did you laugh when that occurred? When the chair broke?
Did you just meet me? I laughed like a hyena. And there was a table next to us who were trying not to laugh,
Right.
When they saw me braying, they figured it was okay to laugh. But yeah, I had a great time. I had a great time seeing those guys. You know.
Well, that's wonderful, and you'll continue seeing them, I hope.
Well, I don't know. I mean, one guy lives in Florida. He just happened to be in town, so yeah, I don't know. But we'll see.
Well, in that case, shall we ring back funny or hate crime?
Yes.
We haven't done this in a while. Before we get into it, do you want to explain the segment, what it entails?
Well, we take a look at a video and we decide. I don't like Jim saying what he just said. That is not good.
Yeah. I believe some technical issues may be on the way.
Yeah.
Perhaps difficulty in pulling up the clip, which we're about to discuss.
Well, I hope that's all it is.
Yeah, okay, that's all it is. So we'll just buy a little time here and explain to the folks.
Funny or hate crime, we take a look at a video and we decide if it's one of four things, either funny, a hate crime, both, or neither. And we take a very loose definition of what a hate crime is, you know. But
Yeah,
we're not lawyers here, despite what you may have seen.
Those are guys who look like us.
All right, we ready to rock?
So
Jim?
what do we know about this clip? Do we need to set it up at all?
Well, I remember like a year ago we did. I don't think it was a funny or hate crime, or maybe it was. I don't know. But we saw a ruckus at a Golden Corral. Yeah. Well, now we're going to see one at a Waffle House. Well, let's take a look here.
You know, Golden Corral, Ralph Williams went there for Christmas, but he found the food to be too salty.
Yeah. He did like what? Something? Was there something he liked? No, that was Jim that loved the chicken wings.
Oh, yeah. Jim's a big fan of that. I believe it was the fried chicken.
Yeah.
From Golden Corral. And that's what you want. You want one great item if you're going to run a buffet to draw people in.
Yeah, I've always felt that way. As long as you got one thing, if it's not all you can eat, you can just eat as much of that one thing that you like. It doesn't matter if the rest of the stuff is bad.
And you get filled up, you're satisfied, everybody goes home.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to talk about. I'm just babbling now because we're trying to fill time here.
Yes, well, there's
couldn't we just cut this out? Okay.
No, I don't think there's any need to cut this out. Everything's fine. Do we have the video? Okay. So we're going to watch this and determine whether it's funny, a hate crime, both, or neither. Now, I'm not sure. I've watched most of this video, and I'm not sure what I see happening here because there doesn't appear to be an initiating incident.
Well, no, I believe the video started after whatever initiated it.
Yeah, because people wouldn't know to start filming, and there are many people videoing this event. I don't see anybody dialing 911 as this melee is taking place.
I don't believe it warranted a 911 call, but there are several things going on here that I'd like to point out.
There's a lot of assault going on, Chris. I believe that warrants a call to law enforcement.
No, I don't. No, for this, I don't think so.
That's why these things continue, because people just...
Well, let's take a look at it, and people can judge. Why is there no sound?
Oh, shit, you are wildin'! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Y'all wildin'! Y'all wildin'! Oh,
man.
I'll tell you, there's nothing funnier than seeing a fat guy fall. So, look
at all these people documenting it for posterity.
Yeah, but no one's been hurt. Nothing's been broken. Why
It's
did
a
you call the cops?
fight. Humans should not be fighting.
I mean, it's not something to call the cops over.
This is assault. Yes, it is.
Let's stop it. Let's stop it.
Never
here.
mind destruction of property. There's plenty here to be charging people with.
Well, whatever. You can call the cops if you want. I wouldn't call the cops. But, Jim, let it go back like 2 seconds. Just like 2 seconds. So what we have here is this girl who's currently in a headlock here.
Yeah.
She's an employee. And she, I think we've already seen it, but she was egging this on. She was doing the bring it on thing. So she wasn't trying to de-escalate this at all. She wanted to fight. So she kind of brought all this on herself. She was holding her own. And then this guy who's holding her, apparently he's trying to break it up. But watch what's going on here. He's holding her in a headlock while the other chick pounds her in the head.
Yo!
It's disgraceful.
Hey, all y'all need to start training.
That's the worst. Can we stop it? That's the worst job of breaking up a fight I've ever seen. He helped that girl get her ass kicked.
He's basically holding her for the.
Yeah, she was
the
holding her
assailant.
own before he arrived to try and help her.
You wouldn't want him on your side during a
No.
dispute, physical altercation.
I ain't gotta deal with shit like that. Yo! All of that. Yo, y'all better than that, man. Come on, man. We're supposed to be supporting each other, man. Come on, man. Yo, they still.
There we go. There's the chair throwing.
She just swatted it
Oh my
down.
God,
I'm telling you, man,
bro.
she wanted to fight.
Oh my
She was
God,
all in for
bro.
this.
You wildin'.
And she was holding her own until that guy got her in a
headlock. Jail, chill.
There she is. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah.
There comes the chair. Yeah, you missed me. Go home.
Now, you mentioned calling the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had I been an employee at this place, the cops definitely would have been called because I would have taken a freaking frying pan and smashed these people over the head until they were unconscious. I don't know. Why are they not picking up weapons? You have someone assaulting your store. You could say they were trying to rob it.
Well, I don't.
You know, with a cop show up, I thought they were trying to rob it. So I freaking, you're allowed to use force when stuff like that happens. I don't know why are they fist fighting customers like for fun?
Well, maybe this is like, the Wiener Circle in Chicago. It's a hot dog place where the staff berates, basically curses out all the patrons.
Yeah, it's like
and vice versa.
It's like entertainment.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is that kind of Waffle House.
Okay.
Where there's just
Hey, anything goes here.
just a free for all every day, and it's part of the charm.
Yeah. So what do you think? Funny or hate crime? I think that one dude hated that girl, and that's why he, don't worry, I'll help. Here. Get her.
Yeah. Hey, with friends like those, Chris.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say he's guilty of some. I don't know. He hates her, so hate crime.
But personal dislike. I think a hate crime entails more like an act of violence or an act of discrimination against somebody based on who they are, not even knowing them. They clearly know each other.
Yeah, are you sure you're not a lawyer? Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I guess not a hate crime.
And I'd also say not a hate crime. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Also not very funny.
No, certainly not funny.
Yeah. You were actually getting upset.
Well, I get upset when I see people engaging in unnecessary violence.
Yeah.
And this is schoolyard.
Yeah.
You don't expect to see this. You go to a Waffle House, you don't expect to see this.
Yeah. But nobody got hurt.
Well, thankfully.
Yeah.
Thankfully. I think more people should have gotten hurt.
Yeah. Had I been there, people would have gotten hurt.
Yeah, apparently. Jeez, Chris. Man, oh, man. Also, I don't think it constitutes a hate crime because there were people fighting on both sides of different races. It wasn't racially divided.
No. Yeah. But I think the Golden Corral one was just because the employees were white and the customers were black, but I don't remember. It may have been similar to what you're saying.
Yeah, but that was more of a coincidence than it was
Yeah.
any sort of racially based animosity, aggravation, whatever you like to call it.
So I guess we're both going with neither on this one.
I'm saying it's neither.
Yeah, me too. All right.
Okay, and I guess we'll keep a lookout for more of these stories.
Yeah, they
And
pop up
hopefully
from time to time.
We can do this again soon. Now, I'm not saying go out and commit a hate crime. I want to make that clear. We have plenty of stuff to talk about. Be nice to each other. Wow, we have a news update.
I mean, did you, like me, forget that this guy even existed?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, we had.
And I kind of feel bad because he's been out there for, 6 months or something?
I think it's 10 months that this war has been going on.
And 10 months, he's been out in the field for us, and we completely forgot. He did manage to get, I think it was a satellite uplink.
Okay.
And he presented us, or he sent us this report from the field from Kiev.
All right, well, let's take a look.
Okay, let's see.
Good evening, I'm Humongous Pecker. The world breathes a sigh of relief today as a U.S.-Russia prisoner exchange results in the release of both WNBA player Brittany Griner and the so-called Merchant of Death. Details of
Brittany Griner's incarceration are emerging, and apparently she was tortured by being forced to watch an endless number of WNBA games. In other news, Russian President Vladimir Putin planned to swell the ranks of his army by drafting terminally ill prisoners. Unfortunately, his plan was derailed when it was discovered most of the terminally ill prisoners had already been drafted by the Philadelphia Flyers. And elsewhere around the world, how many Asian drivers does it take to close a highway? The surprising answer comes out of China, where low visibility caused by heavy fog and slanted eyes resulted in a nearly 300-car pileup. This reporter is taking a stand and saying it's time to put an end to this plague of Asian driving before someone gets hurt. In addition to the one person who was killed and dozens injured in that pileup. Again, I'm Hugh Munguspecker, live from Ukraine.
All right, well, thank you to Mr. Munguspecker for that.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate it, and we won't forget next time. I mean, I did get a new phone.
Okay.
In the last 10 months. So maybe that's what it was.
Gotcha.
You know, you forget to update all your contacts sometimes, yeah. So, shall we check in with Ralph Williams?
Oh, please.
Pittsburgh's forgotten son.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, has surpassed us in YouTube subscribers.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
I find it disappointing and a little bit insulting.
I mean, hopefully the people are enjoying it in the same way we are.
I think people are doing it to spite us.
Oh, or that.
So, ordinarily we check in with his much more frequent YouTube version of his show, The Way I See It, with Ralph Williams. But he does a cable access version of that show on Pittsburgh Community Television.
Okay.
Now, this is from that version of The Way I See It, and this is from September of 2021. Ralph's guest is called Ralph Watson, who also did a PC TV program of his own called Classic Events. I say he did a program of his own for a reason we'll get into a little later.
Okay.
Now, I don't know much about this Ralph Watson because the clip we're about to see, Chris, starts 5 minutes in, and Ralph Williams hasn't yet stopped talking about himself.
Okay.
Now, Ralph Williams has an event DJ business called DJ Fun. We've talked about it here, which these days he refers to DJ Fun in the third person when he references DJ Fun.
Sure.
I don't know why he started doing that or when, but I have a theory it involves the possible disruption of his disability benefits. But I have no proof or evidence to support that. So his guest, Ralph Watson, at last creates a spot for himself and makes a complimentary observation about Ralph Williams and his partner in the DJ Fun enterprise, a guy called Bill Cannata, who's also a pro bowler.
Okay, man, that's a lot to take in, man.
Okay.
Are we close to watching the clip?
Okay, so DJ Fun is actually two people.
Okay.
It's Ralph Williams, Pittsburgh's forgotten son, and pro bowler Bill Cannata.
Well, then maybe that explains why he refers to it as a third person, because it's an entity.
He refers to DJ Fun as he.
Okay.
He will not take you to the cleaners.
Okay.
He'll give you a great rate.
Okay.
So Ralph Watson, the guest we're about to see, he compliments Ralph, and Ralph almost immediately contradicts the praise. Let's start this, and we'll be pausing throughout.
Richland, he can't be here.
That's
He
understandable.
can't be with the media.
But I want to say something real quick. You know, Bill Cannata is a great guy.
He
You
is.
guys have actually, I've worked with you before. You've DJ'd several of my events.
Yes,
So,
we
wow, I
have.
mean, you did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
I was really blown away that, you know, two white guys knew so much about R&B music.
R&B music. Well,
And-
that's the reason we're as good as we are. You know, I know a lot about music and bands. I watched a lot of behind the music over, and I followed music, go to concerts and all that. Bill's the DJ experience from back when he was in the late '80s. He was a wedding DJ, and he started out young, and he got to know the music as it went along. But you know, and then he grew up in that in R&B and Motown and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He grew up in that. Me, I grew up with rock, classic rock, heavy metal, that kind of thing. But I gradually got into the other music as I went along. My favorite era of music is the '80s, because I think the '80s, believe it or not, they had the most platinum records. They had the most one-hit wonders that went platinum.
Okay,
They
pause.
had the
Pause. Most platinum records, most one-hit wonders that went platinum. That's a measure of greatness of an era in Ralph's mind.
Okay. He has more subscribers than us. Huh? I'm bored right now.
Well, you're not. Well, hopefully you'll hang in here because I think there's some interesting things that come out of Ralph's mouth. Let's hear a little more about why the 80s are the greatest era of music.
Most music awards from any bands, and MTV.
Okay, pause. Most music awards from any bands.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's nonsense that he's speaking.
They have the same number of awards.
I don't know.
All right,
He
let's
just
continue.
Exploded with 80s music. That was the
it
culture
took,
of MTV.
It took music to a whole nother level.
Yes, it did.
I am a R&B Motown buff.
Oh, I know. I like Motown. I do. I love Smokey Robinson cruising.
Okay, pause. Okay, so we're back to R&B now.
Okay.
Which is where this started.
Right.
Because Ralph and Bill know more about R&B than most other couple white guys.
Okay.
Okay, that was the original compliment that Ralph Watson paid Ralph
Yeah.
Williams.
I just DJ'd a car cruise in Bell Vernon. Thank you for the American Legion in Bell Vernon for having me 2 weeks ago.
I'm sorry, pause, please.
Yeah.
He just DJ'd a what?
A car cruise.
Okay.
I think it might be one of those things where, people, I guess they drive their cars to a place and then they park the cars in the lot and open the hoods and people walk around and say, oh, yeah, that's a lot of pipes or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they have a live DJ there. Sometimes that live DJ is DJ Fun.
Yeah. I took my race car to one of those once for like a sponsorship thing. So I've been to one. I don't remember if there was a DJ or not, but I don't know.
All right. So he got a request for Motown at this car cruise.
Yeah, sure.
Let's hear what Ralph played.
Requested some Motown, and I played Cruising by Smokey Robinson. He was happy.
Oh yeah.
Pause. Oh no, wait. Let it go one more second.
So,
What are some of the other hits out of Motown?
yeah. I like
Pause.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Cruisin' from 1979.
Yeah. Well, he's at a car cruise. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but someone asked for Motown.
yeah.
They probably wanted it more for the era.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because when someone requests Motown generally, just anything Motown, they're probably talking about the 60s or early 70s. Not Motown from damn near 1980.
Yeah. Yeah, the era's a little bit off.
Yeah.
I see why he made the connection, Cruising. I don't know. I don't even think I know that song.
Yeah, you do. Huey Lewis and Gwyneth Paltrow did it some years ago.
What?
They were in a movie together. Was it duets, I believe?
Okay.
He was Huey Lewis played a karaoke hustler.
Huey Lewis.
Yes,
Okay.
the rock singer.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. See
I didn't realize he had a film career.
You've never heard of this?
I didn't realize he had a film career.
Oh, he did. He's done some acting. He also did a TV movie with Reba McEntire, which we should watch one of these days.
Okay. All right.
All right. Let's hear a little more about Ralph's DJing.
Temptations.
Love of R&B.
I love Papa Was a Rolling Stone. That's one of my favorite songs. My Girl. I get that a lot of requests when I do
Oh,
weddings.
you weddings. That's the number
That's a
one
great
of the
song.
wedding.
Yeah.
That was actually written by Smokey Robinson.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I never knew that. I never
Pause.
knew that at all.
Yep. Music Encyclopedia, Ralph Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good show idea to just talk about your favorite songs with zero context or any ability to play them.
Right. But these are songs people know.
Sure.
So, I mean, they're iconic and they're kind of in the ether.
Now, who is this guy he's got with him? Why is he on the show?
Well, he also has a show, or had a show,
Oh, right.
on Pittsburgh Community Television. Let's hear a little more.
Oh, I love Motown. I like the Delphonics.
Pause.
I love
All right, so I think you understand what's happened here. Let's hear a little bit more.
But they weren't Motown. They were
I know.
Philly.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I like the Delphonics. They're not Motown, but
Pause. I like the Delphonics. That's like, these go to 11. You know, after you're presented with how ridiculous what you just said is,
Yeah.
and you just repeat what you said. Oh, man. All right. So 8 minutes in, and we're finally about to learn. Well, let's look a little more. What's a little further here?
Them, the Brothers Johnson. I like a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know, yeah. So, but anyway,
listing
getting
bands.
back into, into
who
this.
cares?
Tell the viewers here how you started doing classic events.
Okay, pause. Yeah, we're 8 minutes in, and we're finally about to learn about the guest who, I might point out, is only on set for 14 minutes.
And what did he ask him?
What made you start your show, this classic events program?
And what is that? What does classic events mean?
Well, what he would do is, I believe, Ralph Watson, he would have guests on local entrepreneurs, and I'm guessing they probably paid to appear on his program.
Sure.
To promote their businesses.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but it seems to me like the way I've read, the descriptions I've read, it was that sort of program. Well, I have some information not revealed on this program, and for obvious reasons, this program that we just watched clips of.
Wait, I'm sorry, but if your show is about talking to entrepreneurs, why the title Classic Events?
I have no idea, Chris.
That's a terrible title.
Do you think these people would be paying to do shows if they had any idea what a show is?
Well, I suppose not.
Well, Ralph Watson, the guest, he lived only 19 more days after this broadcast.
Oh, shit. I shouldn't laugh at that, but...
Well, no, but I mean, he spent a precious late life hour chatting with this enormous jabroni. And something else about this episode, this was actually Ralph's big return to PCTV. He'd been gone since 2000.
Oh, wow.
And let's go back toward the beginning to watch where Ralph first introduces his guest.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be part
And let's
of
hear
your
all of the self-serving,
Rebirth.
putting himself over
It's great
malarkey.
to be back, man. I'm so happy. I don't know. I have to pinch myself. That's
So
how
they were like
happy
20
I am.
years ago, you
It was
said?
20 years ago. I left in 2000. I had a show called Sports Talk with Ralph Williams. And you know what my most famous two interviews were? Was my very first show. And I had John Fedko on. He was here live. And then I did an interview with Joe Walton, okay, the former Jets offensive coordinator. And then he was the offensive coordinator for Steelers for a little while. Then when Chuck Noll retired, he became the head coach at Robert Morris. Now, everybody in the media, ladies and gentlemen, was afraid to interview this guy. They were frightened. They didn't want to talk to him because nobody wanted to ask him a tough question. And you know what the toughest question was?
What?
What was your relationship with Bubby Brister? And I asked him that question, and he was up front with me. He was very nice about it and everything. It was beautiful, Ralph. I mean, it was so. And I went to his office up in Robert Morris and talked it over. And I mean, he was very nice. I wasn't afraid, to sit there and talk. All my other media colleagues in sports were all afraid. Oh, he's going to yell, he's going to scream, because I asked this tough question. And you know how it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sometimes you just have to take that chance.
Yeah. And that was the question I asked him. What was your relationship? Because him and Bubby did not have a good relationship.
Okay,
Remember?
pause. Okay, so everybody already knew the answer.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't ask him, Ralph.
Can I paraphrase that long ramble he just went on?
Sure.
My last show peaked in the first episode. Because he said that interview was his best one.
Oh, yeah.
And it was in the first episode.
Yeah, that was his very first episode in Sports Corner with
That's
Ralph
not what
Williams.
you want to do. You don't want to peak in your first episode and then just go down from there. This show's supposed to get better.
Oh, not Ralph's. But yeah, nobody wanted to ask the tough questions, like, the one they already all knew the answer to.
Yeah.
Very strange. So I guess that's enough Ralph Williams.
All right. I'm sure that what is he wearing? Is he wearing a cross?
Yes, that's a crucifix. Can we see Ralph on the big screen again?
Back when Bubby...
His hand's in the way.
Yeah, his hand's in the way. Just give it another second or two. And there you go. There's Ralph Williams and the late Ralph Watson.
That's a very ostentatious thing. Like, I would think you'd have to be a pretty religious person to wear something like that.
Yeah, well, he was a deacon in his church.
Oh, okay. All right.
Until recently, he's cutting down his ties with his church for reasons he should get into, but he's not going to.
Yeah, I would love to hear about that.
Yeah, so would I. That would actually be interesting, but no, we're hearing about,
you know what?
Swindled by a sandwich.
I hope I don't get myself in any legal trouble by saying this.
Okay.
But I'm going to go on the record as to why he had a falling out with his church.
Okay.
Pedophilia.
Oh, geez. On whose part?
Ralph Williams is a pedophile.
Oh, man.
You heard it here first.
Oh, man. See, I don't agree with this. can't say we know any such information or have our reporters. And when our reporter gets back from Ukraine, we'll have him investigate. But I doubt.
Okay.
I doubt there's any.
Aren't we going to go out to Pittsburgh and do some investigating of our own?
It would be nice to do that. I'd like to head out there and possibly visit, like the Kramer reality tour.
Yeah.
On Seinfeld, we could do the our own. I mean, just us. Our Ralph Williams reality tour.
Yep.
Possibly visit some of the places where he's caused a stir.
All right.
In service scenarios. Okay. Shall we do our movie of the week?
Please.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, we're having foaming issues over here. You're putting quite a head on your champagne as you pour it, Chris.
Yeah. Champagne, it always does that, but it's amazing how, like, it goes right up to the edge and then never, like, overflows, And it's like half full now. I don't know. Whatever.
Right. So 2 episodes ago, we discussed Death Car on the Freeway. And it was one of those copies of it that was floating around YouTube. It was the original WBBM broadcast of Death Car.
Yeah, with all the commercials.
With all the commercials. And there was a network promo for a sitcom that caught your attention.
Yeah. It was called Struck by Lightning. And it only aired 3 episodes. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they made 12.
I think it was 11.
11? Okay.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of, usually, you don't make that many episodes without having a contract that they're going to air. I don't know. Or maybe I'm wrong, but that seems unusual that there would be that many made and unaired.
I don't know about that because a lot of shows get pulled pretty early.
Right.
So the production company will have an agreement with the network or whoever plans to air it, and they'll get an order for a certain number of episodes. Usually it's like 13.
Yeah.
And they'll produce that number of episodes. They'll get paid for producing that number of episodes.
Okay.
But they'll actually make less money because they won't get, the profit share from the ad revenue.
I guess what the thing is that once, you have a contract to make 13 episodes, but when you get canceled after 3, it would be unusual that you'd already filmed 11 episodes. Like, you figure you'd only be a few episodes ahead. Maybe you'd only filmed 6 or 7. Maybe that's why I'm thinking it's a large number.
I see what you mean. You would think they would shoot one of these a week versus doing them all, I guess, at once.
Yeah, I feel like you're usually only like a month ahead of filming to getting it on the air. So to have 8 episodes in the chamber like that seems like a large number, but I don't know.
Well, they were able to make some of that money back, the network was, because, or I guess maybe just the production company benefited from this. The next year, this aired, it debuted on September 19th, 1979, ended its run on October 3rd of that same year.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because had they been around a few years later, they could have put this on like a VHS thing and released it,
right.
as something.
Right. And all of the installments, all the however many, we have conflicting info here, but every produced episode was shown the next year, but only in the UK.
Oh, the UK, okay.
Now, it stars a guy called Jack, I believe it's pronounced Elam.
I don't know who he is.
That looks right to me. Did he look familiar to you?
He did, but I couldn't place him.
He's been in 1,000 things, dozens of motion picture supporting roles, notably appearing with Charles Bronson. Our friend Eric Todd would know this.
Right.
In Once Upon a Time in the West, and John Wayne in Rio Lobo. Interesting look.
Oh, you're talking about the guy. I thought you were talking about Ted.
Oh, no.
You're talking about the other guy. No, I of course I know him from his, he was in Cannonball Run.
Yes.
Which is a favorite film of mine. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting look, no?
Yeah.
Lopsided eyes.
Yeah, and buggy, like bug eyes.
Yeah. He had those eyes almost all of his life. It came from a childhood injury when he was in Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
And a fellow troopmate stabbed him in the eye with a pencil.
Mm.
It also stars Jeffrey Kramer. Now, he's the guy who plays Ted.
Okay.
He played many roles in 70s television. He's an award winner, but all of his Emmy wins They come from his stint co-producing the shows Ally McBeal and The Practice in the 90s.
Yeah, Practice was pretty good. I watched some of that. Yeah. All right. Interesting.
Theme song. You Are So Beautiful by Joe Cocker, his version of the Billy Preston tune.
Okay.
Well, that must have cost some money.
Yeah. What's your point?
I'm just telling the folks that the theme song to the show was You Are So Beautiful.
Oh, because we can't show it. Yeah. Yeah. Did it seem out of place to you?
Yeah, maybe there was an irony to it because the main character, or the co-main character, the co-star, has, as we said, an interesting look.
Yeah, I thought it was an odd choice, though. Like, to go with an ironic opening, like, I don't know. It didn't. I don't feel like it really worked.
Yeah.
And they probably spent a lot of money on it, as you said. So if you're going to spend money, get something that works, you know?
Now, Jeffrey Kramer, the Emmy-winning producer, he plays Ted Stein. He's a Bostonian who travels to a hotel owned by his recently deceased grandfather. This hotel's in Maine. Ted has inherited the property and intends to sell it. And here he meets his maintenance guy, played by Jack Elam. His name is Frank, and he's just encountered a weather-related misfortune.
About time. I'm getting soaked. Who locked that door?
Sorry, the inn's full up. No room at the inn.
I live here. I'm the handyman. Frank.
What happened? You're smoking.
I was struck by lightning.
Oh, my God.
There it is.
Lightning don't strike twice in the same place is nuts. I got hit 3 times tonight.
You're kidding.
I'll be glad when this damn rainy season's over. You staying here at the inn?
I'm Ted Stein. My grandfather was
Ted.
here.
I've been waiting for you. We gotta talk.
Are you sure you're all right?
But I'll be a lot better when you and me've talked over a few things.
Oh, it's you.
He got hit by lightning.
You're always getting hit by lightning. What's the matter with you?
I was on the roof fixing the lightning rod.
You are a lightning rod. And will you please put out that cigar? You're smelling up the whole house.
I'm not the only one who's smoking here.
Yeah, Ted's smoking a cigar in this scene right beside Frank. You might want to remember that. Now, the woman in that scene, her name is Nora. She's a divorced mother. She manages the hotel, and she lives there with her young son. So that night, as Ted's trying to sleep, Frank shows up in his room to explain to Ted a secret regarding Ted's lineage.
Okay.
And this explanation, for some reason, entails grave robbery.
Now, what is it? What do you want?
I heard you're selling this place. You're not selling it.
Yes, I am. I live in Boston. I'm not moving up here. Now, say what you gotta say and let me get back to sleep.
I just got back from Salem where I got these books out of your great-grandfather's tomb. You don't know who you really are, do you?
Sure I do.
No, you don't.
Okay. Who am I?
Say my name and your name together.
What?
Just say it.
All right, Frank Ted. Now can I go back to sleep?
My first name and your last name.
If you have something...
We're doing it my way, now just say it.
All right, Frankenstein. So, what's that mean?
Nothing. That's my fault. Put a N in the middle.
Frankenstein.
Faster.
This is ridiculous.
Say it, just
Frankenstein.
There you are.
What's this all about?
Don't you get it? You're a Frankenstein. The Frankenstein family.
Oh, come off it.
Yeah. Ted has a hard time buying it.
Sure, yeah. As does the audience.
Well, Frank explains that Ted's great-great-grandfather was Dr. Frankenstein, and Frank himself is Frankenstein's monster, almost 2 centuries old. Frank tries to prove this by bending a fire stoker in half.
Yeah.
That doesn't convince Ted, so Frank coaxes lightning to strike at his command.
Yeah, I don't think... What?
During a thunderstorm. It could have just been coincidence.
Yeah. Like... Frankenstein doesn't have magical powers. It doesn't make sense.
So Ted does come to terms with his family's past, and he confers with Frank in a lab in the hotel basement.
Now, Ted, nobody can know who we are.
You mean even Nora doesn't know who we are?
Nobody knows. about me, about this lab, about nothing. And with the work we're going to do,
Pause
it's
it,
got
please.
to...
Now, here's a thought. All right. Is he going to talk about the serum thing at the end of this?
Yeah.
Then let it play then. All right.
Stay that way.
Work? What work?
Could you make out anything in those old books over there?
Yeah, some of them. Now, what kind of work are you talking about?
I need a special serum to stay alive.
So?
Well, I'm glad you're so concerned. If I don't get it every 50 years, my cells start degenerating. The muscle tissue starts to go. See that eye? It used to look straight ahead like the other one. A few more years, I'll look like a catfish.
So why the need for secrecy? Why can't they tell anyone who he is? Like, if you need a serum to stay alive, wouldn't you want a whole team of scientists working on that? Like, that seems like something that scientists in some field, I don't know what field, would want to study. Like, instead he's relying on this guy who's a high school science teacher. Like, it makes no logical sense. Why the need for secrecy?
I don't know, perhaps, and I'm not intimately familiar with the story, but it's possible that Frankenstein was very, he was embattled.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, villagers chasing him with torches. We're going to get to that a little later. I mean,
Right.
people are not friendly. He hides the fact that he's Frankenstein's monster because people are not comfortable with him. They fear him because he's different from them.
Yeah, okay. I guess that's a possible explanation, although it doesn't really make sense, but it is a possible explanation. Okay.
I mean, this guy really just looks like he might have had a war injury. He doesn't really look like a...
Right. Well, I read on the Wikipedia page that they wanted... Initially, they thought they'd do makeup, but then when this guy applied, they're like, no, you don't need any makeup.
Yeah. And imagine being him, having this physical anomaly. And yeah, that partially got him this role. But it doesn't feel right for anyone involved with that line about how, well, if my eye, you know, whatever he says.
Yeah.
This was an accident, that something happened there. Putting those words into the script, putting those words into his mouth, acknowledges something that it probably would be more... I don't know, it'd be more gentlemanly, shall we say, to not acknowledge that that's why he's there.
Mm.
I'd be uncomfortable with him delivering that, being anywhere near him delivering that line.
Yeah, I can see how you would feel that way, yeah. But,
Now, this episode was directed by a guy called Joel Zwick. You've seen that name, haven't you?
No.
In sitcom credits in the 80s and 90s, a lot of old TGIF shows.
No, I've never seen this.
Okay, he also directed a few motion pictures, including My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
I never saw that.
I bring him up because he's quoted in a
film
book.
critic.
The reason why I bring up the name Joel Zwick is because he not only directed this, but he was quoted in a book about One Season or Less Wonders, saying that Jack Elam had a great sense of humor about himself. So it's possible he insisted on the writers and the producers mining his appearance for, let's face it, throwaway lines.
I think I may have chuckled once at something, but yeah, not laughter to be found in this show.
Also, it's now clear why Frank took those books from the tomb. Apparently, they contain the recipe, the schematic,
okay,
the elixir, the chemical formula for the serum that buys Frank another 50 years knocking about the planet.
Wait, did they say that?
Yeah.
Well, then why can't he just do it himself? What's he need the high school teacher for?
Well, I'm not sure Frankenstein's monster is literate.
Okay. I mean, in the novel, he reads Paradise Lost, so...
Okay, well, then maybe they didn't read the novel. I certainly didn't, and we all stand corrected. So he's relying, for whatever reason, on Ted to create the formula. Let's see a little more.
But if you don't have the formula, I don't know if I can do it.
You can do it. You're a Frankenstein.
Wait,
You're
stop. He just said he didn't have the formula. I thought that was the whole thing, is that he doesn't have the formula.
No, he doesn't have the formula itself.
Oh.
the information on how to, I guess, synthesize it.
Oh, that's confusing. See, formula is, I guess it has two
Oh,
meanings.
no, okay, yeah, formula. He's talking about the actual liquid.
Yeah, the elixir.
The elixir.
Yeah. The formula for the elixir is what he possesses.
Yeah.
So just make it him own. I don't know.
Okay, let's see a little more.
Scientist.
I'm not a scientist.
You're not a scientist?
I teach science. I'm a high school teacher.
You mean my life is in the hands of a high school teacher?
Yes, that's all I am. Now, my mind's made up. I'm putting the house up for sale, and I'm leaving tomorrow.
You can't leave tomorrow.
What do you mean?
Chris?
That's a good way to build your audience. Insult public teachers everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of them out there.
Oh, not just public. There are parochial science teachers as well.
Yeah.
That's a huge population of folks who you've just alienated.
You just called idiots.
All right, let's see more.
I can't. The Celtics are playing the Knicks Friday night.
All right.
Oh, and there's another thing.
All right.
They must have mentioned the Celtics a dozen times.
Yeah, they want to drive home that he's a city boy.
Yeah, like nobody likes the Celtics that much. Fucking Larry Bird didn't like the Celtics as much. He didn't say the word Celtics as often as this guy does.
But if you don't stay, I'll die.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frank.
Let me put it another way. If you don't stay, you'll die.
Don't try to scare me.
Yeah, that's a bad strategy. How's that going to get him the serum?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now we see Ted next. We see Ted, not next in the show, but what we're going to see next. We see Ted having tea with Nora and the old guy whose dentures George Costanza put through the garbage disposal.
Oh, okay.
He plays a local newspaper reporter, but I never really made out what he's doing in this episode. Let's see.
It's like I was saying to Frank. Who needs Boston, the nightlife, the Celtics? I'm bored with it. This is the life for me. Hiking, fishing, dirt, all that stuff. It's great.
Never seen anybody change his mind so fast.
Yeah, I heard Bill Norris was ready to offer you $100,000 for this place.
He was?
Oh, Glenn, why don't you shut up? Idle gossip.
Who needs money as long as you're doing what you want to do?
One more second.
Right, Ted?
We out of here. All right, that was all I wanted to add to that. So in a scene we won't see, Ted makes clandestine plans to leave the inn, to leave the inn and handle the sale of the property remotely.
So that guy the guy you said George Costanza put his dentures in the garbage disposal or whatever.
Yeah.
Did he play Mark Twain at any point in his career? Because I mean, come on,
that's possible. He would have been a shoo-in, for such a role.
I mean, that's a very signature look that Mark Twain had.
You know who did play Mark Twain in a one-man show?
I don't know.
Gabe Kaplan.
Oh, okay, all right. Mark Twain used to do his own one-man shows, right?
Yeah. In a way, he was the first stand-up comedian.
Yeah, he kind of was. Yeah. That's all I have for that.
Okay, so in a scene we didn't see, Ted makes plans to sell the inn, and it's all in secret. But before he can leave, his real estate agent appears to inform him that there's a potential buyer who's en route. Frank overhears this conversation, and he and the agent are presented with disappointing news. Ted and the agent.
Okay.
Get off. Hello? Yes, it's for you. Hello?
What?
Hi,
all right,
Don. Where the heck you been?
Stop. How is hello, it's for you something you put a laugh track to?
There's been a lot of that. Most of the lines that have gotten fake laughter in this episode were not jokes.
Yeah, that's not in any way.
Just dialogue.
Yeah. The editor must, I don't know. But they also put in an applause break at the end of this. Wait, what? There's no live audience. What is an applause break doing?
What I don't understand about that is, okay, there's a laugh track. So the viewing audience is meant to think that, oh, that was funny. I just didn't think it was funny. There's something wrong with me because I didn't think that was hilarious. Is that the strategy? Because you can't convince me that something's funny because I hear laughter.
Yeah, I mean, there's attempts at jokes in the script. That's where you put the laugh track.
Yes, but many of them are very weak. Have we encountered yet the one that you thought was funny?
I don't think, I don't remember. No, I have no idea.
You don't recall?
I just remember at some point being like, Like that was the extent of it.
All right, let's see more.
We've been waiting for you. Glenn, I can hear you breathing. Will you hang it up? Did you try Twin Oaks Road? You're kidding. What about Highway 14? I don't believe it. Hold on. He can't get here. 2 telephone poles fell across Highway 6. The bridge on Twin Oaks Road is split up the middle. 3 trees uprooted and fell across Highway 14.
That must be some storm.
Yeah. There's no storm. Don, listen. I got an idea. Can you get over to Wheeler's gas station? Yeah, I know a back road. I'll meet you there in about a half an hour. Good. Back as soon as I can. Hurry up.
Okay, so that adult who just said across twice, he's the real estate agent. He tries to head over to the gas station so he can give back road directions that I guess he doesn't want the NSA knowing about.
Yeah.
Anyway, he believes road travel is necessary to relay this information. But in that pursuit, he faces adversity. We'll get to that in a moment, but check out this scene that completely forgets an earlier one.
Look what I found.
Oh, great! I've been looking all over for this. I lost it.
You lost it outside your bedroom window. I know what you've been up to.
And I know what you've been up to.
Ah, don't do that!
What's wrong?
I don't like it.
Are you afraid of fire?
Well, you would be too if you was ever chased by 300 screaming peasants carrying torches.
When did that happen?
When didn't it happen?
Yeah, did he not smoke while standing just inches away from Frank in the beginning?
Yeah.
I know he doesn't let on being...
Oh, no, you know what, Steve? He had the cigar lit, so it's not the cigar that he's afraid of, it's the lighter. He used the lighter in that scene. So.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. Well, thank you for clearing that up. Anyway, here comes the real estate agent with an oddly phrased update.
My engine's out.
Well, maybe you can jump-start it.
No, I mean it's out. It's gone. It's not in the car. I don't know where my engine is.
Really?
My engine's out.
Yeah, that's what you say when someone rips an engine out of your car.
No one would say it that way. And it's so obviously worded like that to set up the lame joke about his engine literally being torn out of the under the hood.
Yeah.
Lazy writing. So
yeah, I think you'd be like, holy shit. Somebody tore the fucking engine right out of my car.
Well, it is network television, but he might say something like, man, my car won't start.
Why? Well, the engine was torn out by Frankenstein. We should take an attempt at rewriting this episode.
So Frank, he's damaged public utilities to keep the roads closed with the aim of Ted not being able to sell the hotel. Later, in the lab, Frank is about to drink a potion that will end his life.
Wiedersehen, mein Creator.
Stop it! If you don't stop it, I won't stay.
What?
I said, I'm staying.
I don't believe it.
Oh, goodbye, Celtics.
That's wonderful.
Celtics again.
Goodbye, JD.
You're really staying.
Hello, craziness. Yes, I'm staying, but only until we make the serum.
Yeah. So Ted makes that agreement with Frank.
All right. I mean, they have the formula, so all they got to do is get the ingredients and figure out how to do whatever his great-grandfather did.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. And I guess that sets up the series.
You know, here's an idea. Why don't you make a whole bunch of that stuff and maybe keep it in a freezer so every 50 years, I don't know.
Well, there was some of it, but Ted's grandfather drank it.
Oh, that's right. They did say that.
Yeah.
Because he was crazy.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Didn't keep him alive, though.
Yeah, that was a weird thing to put in there.
Yeah, everything about the show was a weird thing to put in there.
It was, and yet I feel like I would like to see more. I feel like I would like to see the other 10 episodes. I want to see what's going to happen here.
Well, I'm not sure we can track that down.
No, I don't think you'd be able to. But there's a little kid character. She's like Nora's son.
Yeah.
Who lives there.
What? What don't you know?
Well, I don't. I guess they felt they needed a little kid there, but that wasn't.
Well,
I feel like they had something going here, man. Like they could have better writing. A little bit different direction on it. It could have been something funny. I don't know.
Right? Do you think it had promise?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It had promise, or at least it had potential before. I mean, yeah, I would like to see more
before somebody started typing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sometimes hard to judge a pilot episode alone because by nature they're heavy on exposition, and they serve a purpose that subsequent episodes don't.
Right.
But the laziness of that "my engine is outline," has nothing to do with setting up the premise and introducing the characters.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the producers were focused enough to make this work as a pilot, let alone an entire series.
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they had any of the writers who could really write a good joke. Yeah. I mean, there should have been at least one in this episode. If there was one, you'd be like, all right, well, somebody's funny who's writing this stuff. And you can get different writers on TV shows. They could have had a whole different writing staff from the pilot to episode 2. So who knows?
You know how this would have worked? Same show, same script, same actors, but as part of who are the guys? Sigmund and the Sea Monsters.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Croft. Who am I talking? Sid and Marty Croft.
Oh, okay.
Same script, same actors, but obviously different art direction. This could have gone on Saturday mornings for the kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right about that. And I'm sorry, what was his name? Jack Elam or something?
Yeah.
He's great. Like, he's perfectly cast in this.
And he's charming. He's Frankenstein's monster, but he's very charming.
Yeah. The other characters, I mean, I feel like the Ted character, I feel like that could have been a woman. You could have gone anywhere with that. It wouldn't have mattered, And there was probably a better direction they could have gone. But he's not. I mean, if he had better lines, he'd probably be fine, I don't know. I mean, I'm torn. I didn't like it, but I kind of like it because I feel like if you have 10 more episodes out there, maybe it was good at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. So I think we both agree it had potential, which I guess is the best way. It's unfair to give this a rating because it's one episode.
Yeah.
In what was meant to be at least one season's worth of programs.
Yeah, that's fair. We shouldn't rate it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So we both agree it had promise. Chris, anything we didn't talk about you might want to talk about?
Well, we've been stalled at our subscriber count for a while. And we want people to, like, comment, and subscribe?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, they don't do any of that. But yeah, in our drive to get more subscribers, I found some DVDs in the back, and so I think if we get from we're currently at 57,
I believe, yeah.
So if we get to 60, then I'd like to give away one of these DVDs to
60. Chris, you want to stop at 60?
No, I'm just saying when we get to 60,
okay,
as an encouragement for people to subscribe.
Okay,
I found these DVDs in the back, and I thought we could give them away. We got G.I. Jane here. I mean, you can choose. Whoever the 60th subscriber is, you can choose. We got Matador, which I haven't heard of, but
I've seen this. This is Pierce Brosnan and Greg Kinnear. Yeah.
Well, they're both celebrated actors.
Yeah.
So someone could enjoy that. We got The Notebook.
Now this is brand new.
This says 2 thumbs up. Ebert and Roper. Roper?
Yeah, Roper.
Okay. Yeah, so that's probably decent. So, take your pick. You want to watch the Matador? Whatever. I think you had another one over there.
Oh,
right?
I do. There's Love Actually, but I'm keeping that one.
Oh, you're taking that home. All right. Well, maybe I think I saw Avatar back there somewhere too. So maybe if you're the 60th subscriber, you will get a DVD of your choice.
Okay, and you might also want to let us know. I guess send us a message.
You're gonna have to tell us. You're going to have to tell us if you're the 60th subscriber.
And give
then
us
we'll send you a DVD.
your contact information and which motion picture you choose. Again, Notebook, Matador, G.I. Jane, and potentially Avatar.
Yeah.
But Love Actually is off limits.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. For Chris Bergani, Jim Corhan, I'm Steve Rees.
Happy New Year. Happy 2023. 2023. Man,
Yes,
that sounds like the title of a science fiction movie. What the man? I am old. I am old. It's the year it is, and it sounds like the future to me.
Yeah, this is the kind of year that people always used to put the year.
Yeah.
Before when they used to.
Oh man,
add that as a prefix.
All right. Well, happy 2023, everyone.
Oh, okay, we did it.